Dr. Dalia Megiddo joins us here, the CEO of Nasus Pharma. Appreciate you being with us here to highlight some of the innovations coming out in this time of crisis. While there is no cure for this virus, we see various innovations taking place. Your company here is leading with one of them right now that you brought to us today. Tell us about it.
All right. So first of all, this is not a medicine. This is a protective measure. And the technology that is behind it has been developed for the last 3 years. We are a biotech startup company that developed the drugs for intranasal delivery. And when the pandemic started, we figured out that we have a great technology that can cover all of the nasal cavity. Now we can use that to cover it against viruses. And basically this powder is, when it is insufflated into the nose, it absorbs water from the nasal mucosa and creates a very thin micron-sized gel. Now, the gel is covering mechanically the cells, but it is also with very low acidity. And that means that when the virus enters the nose, it is basically annihilated in the low acidity and mechanically prevented from reaching the cells of the nose. One question I need to answer is why the nose? And as you remember, at the beginning of the pandemic, people thought that there are many ways to contract the virus. Since then, we have learned that the virus needs a receptor in order to get into the cells of the body. And this receptor is more prevalent by orders of magnitude in specific cells in the nose. And from then downstairs, there's much less receptors. So we now know that this is the main portal of entry of the virus into the body. Therefore, just covering and chemically annihilating this virus is going to be extremely important.
Now, I know that masks are becoming the norm worldwide now, and more and more requirements in place for those now. Is this a replacement, perhaps, for a mask?
God forbid, no. First of all, people need to remember masks have a very important place in the public health. And that means that if somebody is shedding viruses and he wears a mask, he is protecting the environment.
From a carrier.
Yeah, there's less evidence of how it can protect a healthy person and the way people use masks when they actually put it on their on their mouth at the best.
Yes, yeah, covering maybe the mouth.
So that does not give us a perfect protection. And this is an extra layer of protection that is less dependent on compliance. Once you put it, it creates a gel within 50 minutes. The gel lasts for 5 hours.
5 hours.
Yeah, so the only thing you need to do is remember to use this before you go into crowded places.
And does it affect your sense of smell? I mean, can you still smell with this gel? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. This actually is a powder that does not contain any drug. It contains only inactive ingredients that are recognized as safe by FDA and approved for use as nasal excipients. So no safety issue at all, and this powder, the main ingredient of this powder has been used in pharmaceutical industry for like 30 years, so it's very well known.
Well, the innovation, and again, the thought going into innovating in this field is so important. What's next? Or is there something else you're working on as well at the company?
Oh, absolutely. Our company, started off by developing drugs for intranasal delivery, and we aimed at medical emergencies. Take, for example, a child or a person that have an acute allergic reaction, and currently you need to inject. We are replacing that by nasal delivery. Another product that is actually going into phase 3 now is naloxone, which is aimed at opioid overdose. That was the prior epidemic.
Extremely important field, right? Of course, certainly in places like the United States, but worldwide.
Absolutely.
Dr. Dalia Megiddo, thanks for being with us here and for sharing your innovation with us, and wish you luck with it to all of us.
Thank you for having me.